All right, all right, all right. We are live. We are live. We are live. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Shoot the Hoot RAW. This is episode 14. You believe that? 14 already. I'm Chuck Taylor, your chief go-getter here at CyberHoot. And today, we're diving into something that makes us, well, us. You've probably worked with vendors who treat you like a number. Invoice sent, service ends at the login screen. Next. I know, boo, it's horrible, horrible, right? But that's not how CyberHoot rolls. At CyberHoot, we believe cybersecurity is personal, and we build powerful partnerships, and that's how you build real security. So today, we're pulling back the curtain on how we actually support our partners in the good times, the tough times, and the Carl took the link again times. Let's fly into it. All right. Today's flight plan for Shoot the Hoot. As I said, episode 14 already. First up, the 5-minute rant. We're taking aim at the vendor circus. You know, the ones who vanish the second you sign. We'll break down why partnership is the secret sauce to real cybersecurity and why the vendor mindset is holding everyone back. Then our CyberHoot nerd update. The team's been hooting hard this week. We'll show you what we fixed, what we polished, and what's now smoother, faster, and more owl-friendly inside your dashboard. And then we'll have our open mic Q&A. Got a vendor horror story for me, a partnership win that saved your bacon, or maybe a Carl story that needs to be shared. Drop it in the chat. I'm answering it all live. And finally, the Hoot-worthy horror story. One company thought they had support until they got the invoice and the cold shoulder. We're calling out what went wrong and how we do it differently. Ready to roll? Let's light this candle and shoot the hoot. All right, folks, let's kick this off with something I really believe. Cybersecurity works best when it's built on partnership, not contracts, not invoices, partnership. What do I mean by that? Well, security isn't a one-and-done transaction. It's not a buy it, set it, and forget it kind of thing. Sort of like our autopilot platform, the automation that happens there, set it and let it run. No, cybersecurity is not that way. Security is about living, breathing, and evolving. It's just like our businesses. We keep protecting. We've got to grow. It has to keep growing, and we have to work together. That's why at CyberHoot, we don't just hand you tools and say, good luck. We walk alongside you, and today I'm going to show you how. Because partnership means more than just providing a platform. That's easy. It means being invested in your success. We celebrate the wins. We tackle the challenges. And sometimes, we laugh at Carl's click happy habits together. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just business. It's building a stronger, safer team side by side. Now, let's talk about what partnership actually looks like. This is not invoices. It's not contracts. It's real, in the trenches support. Here are a few ways we, CyberHoot, show up for our partners when it counts. All right, you need more time? No worries. Here's the deal. Sometimes 30 days just isn't enough to trial our platform. Not because you don't want to test CyberHoot, but because life happens. You're running a business, juggling customers, you're chasing that one big client who still hasn't signed, and suddenly the trial's almost up. Oh, and I mentioned personal life happens as well. That's why we don't slap you with a hard, like boom, boom. No, we don't do any of that with a hard stop at day 30, right? When you obviously need more time. We extend trials as requested because real partners know business isn't always neat and predictable. Sometimes you need breathing room. We'd rather walk with you than watch the clock against you. For us, it's not about forcing a sale at day 31. It's about making sure you're confident when you come on board. And if that means giving you extra runway, we're all in. All right. Life happens. Budgets get tight. Maybe it's a slow quarter. Maybe a customer backed out. Maybe you just hit a rough patch. We've all been there. The last thing you need during that time is another invoice and stress to your inbox. That's why at CyberHoot, we don't just say we're partners. We act like it. If a partner needs a breather, we've paused billing. Simple as that. Because staying secure, keeping your team trained, and protecting clients matters way more than squeezing out a payment from you. And here's the key. This isn't charity. This is partnership. We're investing in your long-term success because when you come out of the rough patch, you're going to be stronger, more secure, and ready to keep growing. That's what real partners do. They've got your back when times are tough, not just when business is booming. All right. You ever tried tweaking whitelisting rules in a spam filter at 5 p.m. on a Friday? Yeah, it's like arguing with a toddler who just learned the word no. No matter what you do, it refuses to allow the traffic. That's why we don't leave you to battle the white dragon alone. At CyberHoot, we jump on calls with you, walk through the configs, and fight the good fight right alongside you. Because sometimes getting a phishing test through an email gateway feels like trying to sneak past a nightclub bouncer with the wrong shoes on. The point is, you don't have to do it alone. We're in there with you. Sleeves are rolled up, helping you tame the beast. That's not vendor service. That's pull out my drum roll. That's partnership. All right. Oops. Look at here. We got our Hoot coupon alert. First person email, ShootTheHoot at cyberhoot.com with the code partners10. Just 10% off their next invoice. So open that email client, click send, and get that 10. All right. First one there gets it. So stay awake. All right. Hopping over to slide 7. Your growth equals our growth. Excuse me. Here's the fun part. We don't just keep you secure, we help you grow. Cybersecurity isn't just about locking doors. It's about opening new ones. That's why we'll hop on calls with your customers, explain the value to them in plain English, and even back you up during sales conversations. We also give you marketing materials to help with those sales. We're with you the whole way. Think of us as your cybersecurity hype team. We're not here with pom-poms or fog machine, though, let's be honest, that'd be pretty epic. But we are here to help you close deals with trust and look at rock star in the room. Because when you win new business, we win too. That's not vendor thinking, that's partner thinking. We're not cheering from the sidelines. We're right there in the huddle with you, calling the next play. Here's the truth. The little stuff is easy. We can all handle Carl forgetting his password for the 17th time this week. But when the big stuff hits, like a ransomware scare, a compliance audit breathing down your neck, or a customer demanding proof you've got your act together, that's when you need backup. That's where our vCISO team steps in. We're not just a platform. We're your co-pilots in the cockpit. We've seen the turbulence before. And we know how to keep the plane steady. Whether it's guiding you through remediation, helping with a strategy, or just making sure you don't have to white knuckle the controls alone, you've got us right there beside you. Because partnership means never flying solo when the storm hits. So that's what partnership looks like with CyberHoot. It's not just a login and an invoice. It's extending trials when life gets messy. It's easing financial stress when the budget's tight. It's untangling those tech knots altogether. It's backing you up in growth conversations and stepping in when the big storms hit. This isn't a transaction. It's a team up, a co-pilot in the seat next to you. And when we fly side by side like that, everybody wins. You, your customers, and yes, even Carl eventually. All right, time for our weekly CyberHoot nerd update, where the dev owls never sleep, they just code a little faster. So first up, tagging your phishing campaigns just got easier. You can now create category tags directly from the edit page. We also fixed a pesky issue when creating new admins. Now, if someone's email was used before on an inactive account, not a problem, you can reuse it now. And for those running automated phishing, good news for you. Campaigns now end exactly on the date you set, so your next assignment fires on time. We also squashed the buzz showing incorrect end dates in your upcoming assignments. It's clean and good to go now. Plus, your PDF attachments won't be translated anymore. Your files stay just as the way you uploaded them. We also add a new column to the translation glossary so we can track what the API is being used behind the scenes. So now we know what APIs are being used where. Why is that important? That's important so we can show you the right translated video because CyberHoot is multilingual. And last but not least, power-ups now support 4 new languages: Hindi, Mali, Tamil, and Mexican Spanish. Vámonos, good to go. That's this week's round of upgrades. Now on to the Q&A. See if we have any questions coming in. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Okay, what does CyberHoot actually do if a customer misses a payment? Let's see here. So let's see how we handle this. So the first thing we do is, so we have two types of kind of monthly payments. We have monthly vCISO service payments, and we've got the automated credit card payments, right? So if, let's say, a vCISO payment gets missed, or a credit card actually fails the actual charge, here's what actually happens. Over the next few weeks, our finance team sends a friendly reminder emails about the missed payment. So we'll send 2 or 3 of these, right? If there's no response and we have other contact methods, someone from our leadership team personally reaches out to them. After a few months of silence, we'll assume we've been ghosted, you know, sort of like that that girl or guy on the dating app, right? You're ghosting them, or text message that ghost. I just learned that term probably like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I'm a little slow on the uptake, I guess, right? But after we feel that we've been ghosted, we send a final notice. If we don't hear back, services will be shut down in 1 week. If there's still no response, just what we do, we shut them down. They get shut down. Now, do we chase them for the money 99% of the time? Nope. We let it go. But I can tell you there was one rare case where the amount was unusually high. So yeah, we did pursue that with legal action. Maybe a little bit of TMI there. Sorry, fellas, if you didn't want me to say that. Only one person we ever gone after. All right. So another question here. Oops, here we go. Okay, in what scenarios does CyberHoot give a refund? Okay, so there's a number of different ones that we give refunds for. I can think of 3 right now. So 1, accidental billing. If a partner was mistakenly charged due to a billing error on our end, we make it right immediately. Happens immediately. 2, platform issues. You know we're an agile development company. We push out new features every Tuesday to production. So if there's a bug or development oversight that causes a serious inconvenience for a partner, we take responsibility. And that, excuse me, and that can include issuing a refund. So sometimes it's just a little bug, it's not really a big deal. If we got a kind of a big bug in there, it's really messing you up, we'll give you a refund for the month or something. Now, last one to think about right now are trial overages. So if a prospect forgets to cancel their trial and gets automatically charged, we're not the gotcha type. We're happy to reverse the charge and part as friends, and hopefully even future partners. Now, there's just one time I met with a guy when I first started doing sales calls. The guy said, hey, sign up for a demo. I did the demo, and in the middle of the demo, he goes, I was talking about, hey, listen, for some reason, if you go through the 30-day trial, you cancel. If you want to cancel, you forget. Don't worry, just pay me. I'll give you your money back. He was like, you know what? Yeah. He goes, honestly, that's the reason I came back to you guys. He said, I tried to sign with you guys at the first part of the year. He said, I ran out of time. I didn't do any of the trial testing stuff that I didn't have time for. So I just meant to cancel, but I forgot. And I got charged. So what I did was I canceled anyway. And then I sent you guys an email saying, hey, can you refund my money? And you did. You gave the money back without even a question. So now that gentleman came back to us for that reason. He's currently a partner of ours. He's also recommended other partners. So we stand behind our partners. We want to help them and want to make sure that you're being treated fairly, et cetera. So CyberHoot, that's a partnership that you want. So any other questions? Let's see. Okay, no other questions right now. I thought it was kind of funny. I never saw this. Why is there no W in 1, but there is a W in 2? We don't use it. That's actually pretty funny, right? I saw it this morning. I told my wife. She kind of snickered at me and walked away. But that's funny right there. I don't care who you are. All right, so now this week's Hoot-worthy horror story is one you won't forget. So grab your cybersecurity blanket, cue the spooky music. It's time to dim those lights a little bit. The invoice enemies. The vendor that left the customer hanging. Let's see. All right. Let's see. A mid-sized MSP was working with a well-known cybersecurity vendor. Let's call them Secure Corp. They just onboarded a new client and were rushing to get compliance training rolled out. But suddenly, bam! Little explosion. Should we do an explosion? Admins couldn't log in. Training wasn't available. No access. No alerts, just silence. It's uncomfortable, isn't it? Silence. So the MSP reached out, thinking it was a technical glitch. Instead, right? They thought it was a technical glitch, but instead, they got hit with an unpaid invoice from Secure Corp. Son of a. We feeling that yet? Yes, we are, right? Get that? They missed one payment, and the vendor had automatically locked out all the admins and end users without any warning. No grace periods, no heads up, no human. The kicker, the payment had already been sent, but just hadn't been processed yet. The MSP lost credibility with their client, scrambled to recover, and swore off Secure Corp for good. I won't share what cybersecurity training provider that was. I'll just say it wasn't CyberHoot. How would CyberHoot have handled it? We would have reached out multiple times. We would have worked with the MSP. And if needed, extend their access, right? Give them a free month or something. Because we were building human firewalls, a missed invoice shouldn't burn the whole house down. It's a shame. All right. All right. Silence. Okay, folks, that was it. That's a wrap on episode 14 of Shoot the Hoot RAW. Remember, at CyberHoot, you're not just a login and a license. And unlike Squid Games, you're not just player 4, 5, 6. You're part of the flock. Whether it's a tech tangle, a tight budget, or a client who just needs some convincing, we show up, we partner, we co-pilot. And that's why MSPs and businesses don't just survive, they thrive with us. Thanks for flying with us today. If you loved it, share it. If you got questions, drop them. Until then, stay safe, stay secure, and stay hootin'. See you next time on Shoot the Hoot RAW. Hoot on. Hoot on!